Well, undoubtedly, this is set to be the match of the day. The Men's Open Grand Final, the Central Coast Derby. It's the Doyalson Dragons taking on the Central Coast Dolphins, two red-hot sides littered with representative players, state of origin, international reps. It is all happening here. So many quality players to look out for, the likes of the Moffat brothers for the Central Coast Dolphins, Chris Lennon as well, who has speed to burn, and also Luke Kane. However, on this Doyalson Dragons side, who will use the ball first here, there's almost too many names to mention. One of them is with ball in hand right now, Daniel Langbridge, and of course the likes of Dylan Thompson and that man Jared Rodimer, the New South Wales captain. So 30 minutes on the board. 30 minutes away from grand final glory for one of these two sides from the Central Coast area. Here is Langbridge going at it himself, looking to link up. Oh, there's no way that could have been in. Surely not. Just had a foot on the sideline, but he nearly worked something in the smallest of margins there. Daniel Langbridge. Moffat works it away. Quick hands now once more. German heading towards the sideline. Ardita, he's another man to watch. Arguably the quickest player in world touch football, Kaya Ardita, hanging out on the left-hand wing. Far side of the ground. Great one-handed pick up here from Flaherty. Flaherty delivers a long pass, and they wanted the little tip on. Just didn't come for them. So both sides surviving early attacks on their respective lines by the nearest of margins. Langbridge receives it once more here. And Thompson is out there now for them. They drive hard up through the middle. Plenty of metres on offer as well. Eventually a touch coming. They had to stop on the run there with Thompson in at acting half. And he is caught here on the last as David Stone joins me in for commentary. And realistically, this is probably the final a lot of people wanting to see an old-fashioned Central Coast derby.
Yeah, I think I called this one earlier in the tournament, and Dawson have been building really well to this tournament. They didn't go out too hard, and a couple of games they just eased their way into it, but this is the big one. Central Coast young boys, they've been the top dogs for this year, but we've got the good touch there by Thompson, but we've got the top dogs that have been around for a very long time and a lot of experience. So it's the new with the old here, and I'm interested to see who will come out on top.
All that means is we need something blue, Stoney. We've got the old, the new, something blue. And I think something borrowed as well.
Yeah, that's correct. But unfortunately, I don't think anyone here is getting married unless you're not telling me something, James.
No, that would be a surprise to me as well. Kind of need a girlfriend for that in the first place. Up they go over halfway. So pressure on the line here of the Dolphins. Little is back out there. Here he is now with the ball in hand. Crabbing across field. Thompson also there in support. Receives it now. And they stop pushing up from that try line, so the penalty comes in favour of the Doyalson Dragons.
You'll see Thompson and Little work a little bit here. They got a good combination and played together for a very long time.
Thompson, quick hands back to that open side. He found Jacob Hawkins, but they shut him down very quickly. Here is Thompson again, linking up with Johnson, who's got a great long dive. Here he is trying to use it. They got to him in time, though.
I think he nearly needs a headgear. He goes that low. I've seen him dive that many times this weekend, and knees in the back of the head and in the back. And
Thompson out the back here for Johnson. Oh, great play there in defence from Ollie Jones, who had to make a play at it.
Yeah, good read there on the passive by Ollie Jones, and that's what the Doyalson Dragons are renowned for, the passive out the back.
They play it quickly here. Johnson again going for the low dive. I think you might be right. He might well need potentially the headgear, or as you might even see in the background there, Loopy, our photographer, going by with the bucket hat. That could at least be a good start for him.
Yeah, old Loopy on his famous bike, but
Thompson scoots it on. It's play on here. It's a try for Jacob Hawkins, the first of the grand final. It's all smiles for the Doyalson Dragons. However, there might be a word still to happen here. Three officials are conferring.
They haven't confirmed it, but I think they're
They're
stamping their authority with the back chat, I think, early. So I think it was a nice phase play there by the Doyalson Dragons. But once again, Thompson out there just orchestrating where he wants people and what he wants to do.
So all the work to do here for the Central Coast Dolphins. They find themselves behind with an early try to Jacob Hawkins. Moffat holding the ball in one hand. Quick release there. In fact, no touch coming as of yet. There it is now from Wilton. Moffat, oh, what about the sharp footwork there? The Moffat boys combine, and all of a sudden we have a level ball game again.
Yeah, a little sneaky unders line. That's the backyard touch that I've been talking about all weekend between the two Moffat boys, and they combine there to score a nice try.
Some superstars on show in this grand final, that's for sure. The likes of Thompson and Wilton and Langbridge operating in the middle there for the Doyalson Dragons, up against the Moffat boys and Luke Kane. So some very impressive middles across both sides of the pitch. Thompson delivers short here, receives it back, and now has another crack at them. Thompson opening something up here for Clune. Clune dives from distance, and he beats the defender, does he? No. Late call from the sideline official. Try denied. Thompson thought he'd worked it enough. Clune with the big dive. Last play now. Thompson out the back. The passive play. Ball popped over the top into the waiting hands of Dafter, but it's called forward.
Yeah, just that last play there by Will. Drifted forward, and nice setup passive play again by the Dawson Dragons.
So they're working upfield now through Rainer Badior. Moffat just shy of the halfway line. Lennon, one of the quickest customers in touch footy. He then takes the next touch. Forward they drive once more here. Niebel, an option. Lennon cuts him out, or quick hands, but beautifully read there from Dafter.
Big Dafter. He's a big man to get the ball around, and it was a nice shot down there, or it was a dead set try. But once we see Lennon from that left to right 4-on-3 platform, he's dangerous. He can rip a ball.
Here he is again, Chris Lennon, taking the touch. Tapping it back underway. Now it finds the hands of Niebel, who's an option once more. Stops on his run. Well watched in defence. Ardita hopping in at acting half. Belcher out now to Lennon. Good pressure in from Johnson. Belcher with the short ball to Lennon. Beautiful play. A lovely piece of deception with the pass. He feigned to go long and popped it right at the death on the try line. And another try here for the Central Coast Dolphins.
Yeah, they just shifted the ball across the line and ran a Cindy play, but the ball was held up really well, and unfortunately the middle just released and opened up that gap through the middle of the defence.
So despite troubling the scoreboard first here, the Doyalson Dragons, they find themselves behind 2-1. Shaping up as a really high-quality grand final here. Hope you're enjoying the action on Bar TV, New South Wales Touch Football. Wherever you might be watching. For that matter, let us know where you are watching from, as the Dolphins do enough there to stop that raid on the line. Moffat works it away. More support out wide through Richardson, who drops it off nice and quickly. Once more, a beautiful transition, but jamming in to stop the run there was Johnson. Good defence from the link. Last play now. They pick it up and scoot with one hand. Great ball over the top. Have they done enough to evade the touch there of Jenkins? No, he's done a wonderful effort with the diving touch.
Good touch by Jesse Jenkins. He gets really good reads in defence, Jesse Jenkins. And for a little man, he can cover some ground, but his talk as a winger is outstanding. That's what gets him to the high levels.
We hear it a lot, of course, in rugby league circles about how a fullback is able to organise the defensive line, as Thompson siced through this particular line. And they get it to ground nice and quick too. Lincoln Little on the spot. I think he's got it down in time.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that's a try. Yep, they're going to award it. Thompson once again just burning through the line, just showing a clean pair of heels and absolutely gassed Kane there.
Great stuff from Thompson. He certainly can turn it on when he wants to. Just saying, though, I mean, you talk about rugby league circles with a fullback being able to organise the defensive line. That's very much the same style that is required of our wingers in touch football.
Yeah, the wingers are really important in touch football. Once upon a time, it used to be, unfortunately, the not so good players used to get put on the wing, but now they're probably the most important thing for a defensive side is the reads of a winger.
We look at Sammy Rogers, one of the great defensive wingers in either men's or women's touch footy.
Oh, that's
does so
opened up.
much wonderful work for them, and Lennon back on the inside. I think there might have been an obstruction in the lead up there. one of the defenders coming across couldn't get around the supporting run. I think it was Belcher who was pushing through, and he just blocked a runner.
Oh, it's a blocker play, but I think it's just the man attacking. He beat the person to the spot before the defender. I think Little sold that really well, but it's a blocker play that they play, and it just opens the middles up through the guts.
So nobody there waiting at acting half. Finally, they get some support onto the pitch. Thompson is one of them. He hops in now from dummy half and once more takes the scoot. Thompson, long ball, they've lost the footing. Play on it is. Nowhere to go though, so they push it back towards the middle. The tap on is lovely here. Thompson spirals it out, and once more, players losing their footing on this pitch. Now, there is certainly no more morning dew involved, but the reports that we have had from multiple teams is that underfoot, it's quite slippery still.
Yeah, I just don't think there's not a lot of grass on them 10 metres, 7 metre lines, and
it's a good meters on offer here though. German through the middle now. Luke Kane with the big dummy. Change over there, so the touch coming in at just the right time. So they work it forward. Flat pass there from Eagleton. Had a ripping campaign for Hunter West Hornets earlier this year. So he's certainly a player on the up and up.
Yeah, another young boy that was in the Origin 20s team and one to look for in the future. He's been in the Doyalson system for a very long time. I keep watching him and I'm thinking he's been there for about 5 or 6 years, but he would have had to have started when he was about 15, I reckon.
Certainly possible. We've seen plenty of 14 and 15-year-olds playing in the men's 20s division as Johnson once more shows that he might well be the closest thing to Stretch Armstrong in the touch footy circles. A big dive from a long way out puts Doyalson back in the lead, 3 tries to 2.
He's had a very good series, and I've never watched him a real lot, but this series he's really stood up in the country champs and made a name for himself, getting really low and diving, and he's taken a fair few knocks.
Well, I've noticed as the tournament's unfolded, the skins have come out more and more often because he probably hasn't got much skin left on the elbows after all the dives. Central Coast Dolphins now with a chance to hit back themselves. Lennon, quick footwork there. Belcher drops it off. Lennon's an option once more. Moffat trying to get away from Langbridge. Keeps it alive here. Initial attempt there from Langbridge, ruled to have not been affected. Moffat wasn't even watching. There was a huge miscommunication there. Lennon was still in front of the play, so he couldn't make a grab at it.
Moffat was wanting to go on the sweep there, but it just broke down. Oh, and this is big for the Doyalson Dragons. A great defence set. Now they get a repeat set from halfway. Another good chance here for the Doyalson Dragons in attack.
They'll start from pretty much on halfway, so great field position here as Little comes forward. Thompson. Little again. Finally, they get the touch on him. He was just crabbing across field at his own pace for some time there, Little. Was there a loose foot there? No, they're going to call incorrect play the ball. And they get a chance to keep marching forward. There's a collision here between referee and player. It was Jacob Hawkins who's barreled over one of our top officials.
Kim Skelly there knocked over as well, so see if he's all right. He was limping a little bit there. He's having a little chuckle to himself.
There's a big boy as well, Jacob Hawkins. He's certainly not of the Jesse Jenkins variety, who's one of your shorter players out there. Thrown on here to Kane. Kane back to the open side. Moffat plays it quickly. Here he gets it again. Moffat, lovely drop off. They drive forward here. Flaherty into the background looking for Ardita. Oh, what a ball that is. Popped at the death. Moffat came across. He reckons he got there in time. But there was enough pressure there.
Yeah, Dafter Holden, Kyra Ardita back and penalty awarded, but once again, that's Flaherty's one of his pet plays. If the defender pulls straight back on him, he's going to burn him short side all the time.
To Kane back here to Moffat. Luke, that is.
Players must move forward. This is 2, Baggio's saying, so another one. Could be a 4 sub on the sideline. Defender with 5.
Josh Moffat into acting half now to brother Luke. Thompson stepped up nice and quick to shut it down. Moffat to Moffat to Moffat again. It's the Moffat-a-thon. And that's play on, is it? Johnson came in. I think this could be a time to sit someone down. That's 3 in a row now. Now have a chat to Johnson.
No, it's just to the sideline.
He thought he was gone.
He thought he was going the other end, but it's just to the sideline.
In fact, no, they'll push him out the back here, so he has been sent.
Yeah, no, it'll be just this set of 6. That's the new 8th edition rules. 3 penalties inside the 7. You sit someone out for that set of 6.
Still plenty of work to do, though, for Doyalson in defence. They can ill afford to lose another player there for not stepping up, or certainly for mouthing off as Thompson is doing there.
Another 3 penalties, they might have another one sitting out.
Can't quite recall a time where that might have happened as they dive from a long way out here with Luke Kane, who makes them pay. You can't give good teams such as the Central Coast Dolphins that much ball, and certainly with an extra man advantage, and they've taken full advantage of it there.
Yeah, that did help, but they did work them penalties well, and Central Coast hit back. Make the score 3-all. Exciting game here in the Country Championships.
Great match as we come exactly on the halfway mark. 15 minutes gone between Doyalson and the Central Coast Dolphins. A long ball here from the Doyalson Dragons. Back towards the middle. Rodimer's out there. He hasn't seen a great deal of time with the ball so far. Rodimer still an option in the middle. Plays it inside that 7-metre mark. Long ball and a beautiful play there. I don't even know how he actually got eyes on it.
This will be interesting, I reckon. He was never even going to try and get onside there. He just stopped the try and that was it. So there's a possibility he may go up the other end here. Oh, yep, there he goes.
So this one will actually be the full penalty there. So he'll have to go for 2 attacking sets and 2 defensive sets at a minimum, you would imagine. Short side raid here once more. Can they take full advantage of the extra man? No, not on this occasion.
Good short side defence there. Fitzpatrick needs to keep his head. They've got the ball. They've got the numbers. Just play the percentages.
That's what they'll look to do here with Clune, who drops it off. Rodimer, quick hands. They've touched it here. Oh,
massive.
Beautiful play there from, I think it was Rainer Battior. Yes, it was, who batted it up for himself and then reeled it in.
That's a big play by Rainer Battior.
Here he is once more. So big couple of plays in this set from him. Lennon straightens things up. What a game unfolding we have here.
I thought we were playing gridiron there.
Well, Tom Brady, he did come out of retirement. Wasn't aware it was for touch football, but apparently that's the case here at Tuggerah. Clune off the left foot. Now Langbridge. Langbridge stepping away from them. Evades the touch of Belcher. Lennon came in and got him. Wilton now. Driving forward. Slows things down. Back to Langbridge. Thompson there as well. Langbridge and Thompson keeping it alive here. Hot potato stuff. Belcher doing a great job to mark up against both of them. Geez, that's an unlucky call there. I felt Belcher had come out to meet them.
Yeah, Belcher was out, but the rest of the team need to press forward, but they've still got 5, so they're trying to just hold, so they get that release.
So Thompson slowing things down in no rush, knowing that they already have the extra man advantage. Langbridge threatens to go long. They've worked it beautifully here through the hands of Wilson into the waiting arms of Dafter. And that makes it 4 tries to 3. Back in front they go, the Doyalson Dragons. The extra man does indeed produce a result.
Yeah, and they may still even, I'm not sure whether they'll get another set. This could be the last set, so they may get 6 back on after this set of 6 for the Coast. We have a tight game here once again, but Dawson in front at the moment.
The attack again, though, come the Dolphins. A chance to hit back themselves. Moffat with Kane linking back up. Not a great deal of options emerging there. Ardita hopping in at acting half. Back to Kane, and now Moffat once more. Flaherty. Kane drops it off. Last play now. Kane again. Can he go for it? Oh, what a pass that is. He feigned for the dive and then flung it out with the one hand mid-air. Would have been quite spectacular had it come off.
They're still going to give them another set, so this could be an advantage here to the Doyalson Dragons. This is actually their 3rd set because they've scored off 1, but there's an intercept off 1 as well, so this is interesting.
So Langbridge comes from the field, replaced by Little, who's with it now. Last play, Little back to Thompson. Thompson flies it directly into a man who was standing in the passing lane, so that's why the extra set has been ruled.
And that's not a completed set, so, oh no, they have brought him back on, so that's not a bad thing.
Well, they now get their full complement back. In fact,
I'm not too sure what's going on, to be honest.
Well, it's quite interesting because he's on the field.
Yeah, I don't know. I've lost that one. They were forcing him to sit on the sideline, so luckily for the Coast, it didn't hurt them, but yeah, I'm not too sure what was happening there.
Well, nonetheless, they now do have the full complement. They don't have to worry about strange little nuances about hanging directly on the sideline as Moffat comes forward now. All big contact there from Little. They still keep driving forward. I think they might have gone forward there to Lennon. Ooh. No touch ruled. However, it's gone nowhere near the supporting player in the form of Wardetts.
That would have been a big hit back by the Coast straight away as soon as they got 6 on.
So nobody leaving this one early. It's well poised. Doyalson Dragons 4-3 over the Central Coast Dolphins as Moffat comes in with the touch. Approaching the final 10 minutes of this match. 30 minutes, no halves. Simply changing ends when a try is scored. We haven't seen a great deal of it because the defence from both sides has been excellent. Here are the Dolphins now with Moffat driving forward. Shifted on from Nebel. Now Rainer Badior, who hops in at acting half once more. However, there's a big discretion in that play the ball. They haven't got it right. So Jenkins will get the turnover. Touches it and off they go again as Langbridge returns to the fold. It's got that beautiful floating cutout ball. Often doesn't opt for the spiral pass, just lets the ball sing from close to the chest. Dylan Hennessy style, if you will. Here he is in at acting half. Oh, great run there from Flaherty.
They've called him offside, but it was a nice strike read there defensively by Flaherty. Trying to knock off the quickie before he releases the ball.
I'll get another set to play with here, though. That's the big summary off the back of that one. Wilton drops it off. Langbridge, Wilton again diving at the line. Belcher was there, though, and did a good job. Also support from Luke Kane through the middle. Langbridge out to Wilton. Up they step now to put on the pressure. Thompson scheming as always. Langbridge, great footwork. Langbridge nearly got away from them. Belcher did a good job. Keep crabbing across field and slow down that run of Langbridge. There's plenty of tension around the stadium too. You can see a couple of hands on heads on the sideline for some of the Doyalson players who are a little bit concerned here. Dafter over the top, pops it back in towards the middle. Wilton is there waiting. And for the first time in the match, we've got a nice little buffer that one of the sides has been able to produce. 5 tries to 3, Doyalson lead.
That was a nice ball by Langbridge. It was a floater, but Dafter with the tap back in. Done well, got Adida caught out, chasing out hard, and unfortunately the link in that got held up and just couldn't cover the inside of Adida there.
So work to do for the Dolphins as both Moffat boys are out there now. German provides it here for Luke. Lennon. So all the big guns on deck at the moment for the Dolphins. Offside player making the touch and no advantage thereafter. So another set to play with here as Josh comes forward. Josh Moffat again off the left foot. Geez, he's got a great step, doesn't he?
He does.
Back to the 7 metre mark. Now Luke Moffat is there. They wait. They want the defence to push out to them. Popping a ball over the top. Lennon hit the line nicely, but really well read in defence from the Doyalson Dragons.
Jesse Jenkins again with a good read defensively. Lennon out of half.
Lennon, short ball. Oh, Johnson would have been there anyway. There's no advantage, though, once more. And they've got to be careful. That's 2 penalties now in this 7 metre mark. Next one will have to sit down.
Here we've got the Moffats, the 2 Moffat boys, Lennon and also Kane. So you've got a lot of strike weapons here on the field in the middle.
Not to mention Kyra Ardita out wide. So this is pretty much the all X-Factor side, you could say, for the Central Coast Dolphins. All their big players out there at once. Josh Moffat, ball over the top. Oh, Kane wanted to get the flick on. Realistically, he just had to hold the ball, though.
Yeah, that's just a little bit of impatience there. I'd like to see... Josh Moffat hasn't run many sweeps on this game. I know the Doyalson Dragons would know him, but the way he runs them, he's so hard to stop, and they just haven't really gone to it. And then that hurts the Coast. They've just got to be disciplined. There's still time, but giving cheap, easy piggybacks to the Doyalson Dragons will help them just get up the other end of the field.
Speaking of time, there's about 6 minutes remaining as they head up towards the halfway line. All very flat pass out of dummy half. Little picks up some good metres there. Fresh players on the field now, including Clune. Here he is waiting and acting half. They played inside the 7. Clune with a long ball over the top. Jenkins went for it. It was a 50-50 challenge. Jones was there as well. The referees sensing exactly the kind of match this is, say play on, that's all good. Forward they drive now. Moffat up to halfway. Flaherty 10 metres into enemy territory. They continue driving here. Last play now. Flaherty picks it up. Oh, what a ball that is from Flaherty. He beats the touch of Dafter. They're all good here, are they? No.
That's a big play by Dafter. That was a really good touch. Flaherty, he's got a great left to right. It was as flat as anything. Big defensive set here by the Central Coast Dolphins.
Well, doing well so far. They've taken an age to get their full complement back on the pitch. Now they straighten up with Wilton. Langbridge picks it up. Wilton again. Oh, great evasive technique there to get away from Belcher, who says, come at me again. Langbridge again. Wilton, was that touched? Oh, yes, it was from Flaherty. That's a massive call here.
That could have been a 50-50, that one. That could have gone either way, but referee said there's 6 to go. He's played at it, so perfect chance to possibly seal the game here for the Doyalson Dragons. But we can see here we've got Thompson with Wilton in the middle.
Under 5 minutes to go. Wilton dives from a fair way out. The Belcher was there along with Niebel. And you're right, Stoney, I think if they score here, that should do it for them. The margin is already 2. The Dolphins would be acutely aware of that, though. Quick little slip of the pass there to Thompson, who wanted to get to ground quickly and play it just a few metres away from the try line.
Good tread defence there by the link.
Thompson slows it. Belcher comes in. Last play now, Thompson. The face ball. Ardita was up in the line anyway. You can just see the urgency now creeping into the Dolphins' play with Ardita running after that one to get things back in action.
I think they have to score this set to get themselves back into it.
That's the call from David Stone, Origin coach. Played off here. Johnson stepped up, but was called offside, so he retreated pretty quickly. Lenham onto the pitch now for the Dolphins. They keep marching forward. Langbridge makes the touch. Last play now. They've got them backpedaling. Oh, good pace shown. And the little skip, hop, jump. Away they go. A try for Kyle German. We've seen him do it a few times throughout this tournament. The little hop to beat a diving touch. And once more, it produces a result as Wilton also hits the deck.
Yeah, Wilton's a bit injured, but Jermaine, he's a bit underestimated, I think, with his pace. A lot of people underestimate how quick he actually is. And like you said, we've seen that a couple of times, that play where he just plays the numbers, a quickie off the touch 5, and he goes straight through the line. Big defensive set here for the Central Coast Dolphins. They have to make a stop.
5-4. They're certainly back in it. 3 minutes on the clock. All to play for in the men's grand final here for the 2022 Country Championships.
That was a good pick up by Baggio there from a forward pass, and they're mouthing off. They need to stay disciplined here, the Doyalson Dragons.
Johnson heads to the sideline. So at the moment they're playing with a man less. Finally they get the replacement onto the field. Ardita hasn't been unleashed at all so far. They'll be wanting to get him involved if they can. There's absolutely nobody in support there. Moffat screaming for extra players to join the attack. Kane eventually gets there. They keep going here. We've heard a whistle. I'm not sure where that's come from, though. I don't think it's this field.
No, it's a far field, that one.
It's a very loud whistle. Kane, short ball. Oh, it was on for them too. Just falling short of the hands of Niebel. That could be all important. 2 minutes on the clock.
They'll still get 2 sets of the Coast boys, but they've got to make a stop again here.
That was very close to being forward as well. Langbridge out of acting half. Now Little drives forward. Langbridge once more. Here comes Little. The touch comes in from Kane. Last play. Langbridge, a big ball over the top. They've got to defend this for their dear lives here, the Dolphins. They keep it alive. Langbridge collects it, but the touch is already completed, so they survive once more, the Dolphins. Here they go. Second last chance with ball in hand.
Big set here coming off their own line.
Good news for them is that they get that transition working nice and quick here. Belcher up over halfway. They're all back on deck. They can't leave anything in the tank now. Moffat away. Once more he drives hard. Langbridge still backpedaling. Flaherty coming at them. Oh, he pops the pass for Lennon, who didn't read the inside switch, and it goes begging for them. They'll get one more shot, though.
The late switch was on because Dan Langbridge, he was backpedaling. He was out on his feet there, and the late switch was on for Lennon, but unfortunately just couldn't get that read.
And they've given a penalty away as well here from Moffat. So they've got a minute on the clock. In fact, it's gone off a bit early here. Of course, it's just a guide on the screen. The boys will say that'll do it. The Dolphins realise they can't gain the victory, but it's all smiles, high fives and handshakes for the Doyalson Dragons. Carly Banks' men have claimed it here. A terrific match, end-to-end stuff. They left nothing in the tank either side, and the Dolphins, right at the death, just denied a potential try to send it to the drop-off zone.
Yeah, can't say they didn't stop trying, but the experience prevailed there, and I think that could be a matchup we could see in the semi-final or a final up at State Cup. So really looking forward to these kids coming through, but also how Doyalson Dragons progress more on top of this as well. They'll start really planning and defending hard, and they got to really get fit. They got to get touch fit for the State Cup because they've just come off a league season. So really looking forward to both these teams progress into State Cup and see how they go against the city counterparts.
And certainly looking forward to that State Cup as well. Of course, December is when it happens. December 2 to 4 up in beautiful Port Macquarie. We've got one final match coming your way to close things out here for the 2022 Country Championships. The Mixed Open Division should be an absolute ripping fixture between the Wollongong Devils and also Stoney's home side, Port Macquarie, featuring all the action in about 5 minutes' time right here on New South Wales Touch Football and Bar TV.